The witness waves at the tank glass, and their reflection turns around to look into a room behind itself. Only aquarium glass, reflecting a locked room that is not behind the camera. The first witness does not scream. The air has the flat, wet smell of a room after power has been off too long. The witness repeats the wrong date and starts crying before they understand why. The first question is not what happened. It is why aquarium glass reflecting a locked room that is not behind the camera already knows the witness. The safe explanation is radio bleed from another room. For almost 1 minute, that explanation works. Then the second playback removes the safest explanation, and the room stops feeling like a place people can leave. Every explanation asks one person to give up a piece of what they remember. The nearest person steps back like the evidence has recognized them. The archive can keep its labels. The story belongs to the person who realizes aquarium glass reflecting a locked room that is not behind the camera has started answering them personally. Dust shifts across the table before the door opens. The next contradiction is not bigger, it is closer. The witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. Now the witness has to decide whether the evidence is a warning, a lure, or a rehearsal. The reflected room is not underwater. It is the part of the building where lost observations are stored until someone notices them. The opening no longer looks like the first scene. It looks like the moment the room chose who would remember it. They step away from the camera and refuse to say whose voice came through it. The second witness is listed as present tomorrow. The file ends because the archive runs out of procedure, not because the witness runs out of fear. A small detail turns personal when the camera answers back. The cost is small enough to deny and personal enough to ruin them. The final tag is signed in handwriting the witness has not learned yet. A reflection arrives half a second before the person casting it. The witness notices the pattern too late. The witness lowers their hand before anyone tells them what the evidence is. The next proof is not louder. The first person in the room forgets a name they had just written down. The clue starts to feel less like evidence and more like a selection. The case changes shape when the corrected copy changes first. The danger is not death. It is being edited out of your own account. The archive can record the moment, but it cannot make it harmless. When the camera returns, the room has learned the witness's next move. The last sound is a voice practicing the witness's answer. Each added detail makes the witness less certain they arrived after the event began. A witness looks for permission to laugh, then realizes nobody else heard the same thing. Someone keeps one hand in their pocket because touching the evidence now feels like answering it. The personal cost lands in a practical gesture. A badge removed, a door avoided, a name crossed out twice. A hand stays above the table, a name is avoided, and one breath arrives too late. The room pressures the witness before anyone understands what noticed them first. The final, ordinary sound is not a scream. It is the camera, repeated once, after everyone agrees the room is empty. By now, an after-hours aquarium corridor, where the tank reflection opens inward, feels rehearsed. The timestamp clicks forward in a room where every clock has been unplugged. The witness is no longer investigating the event. The event is testing the witness. The lights stay ordinary, which makes the contradiction worse. The clean recording keeps the damage and loses the voice. Nobody can blame spectacle for what changed. A corrupted export from an older case would be comforting if it explained the timing. It does not, because the evidence is sealed, but the seal is warm. A harmless detail becomes impossible to ignore. Case rule is simple. Every clean explanation changes. A staffer pockets the key, then cannot remember which door it opens. The file has found the person it wants. A rational explanation almost survives. A mislabeled intake file. Then the room remembers the witness before the witness enters, and someone in the room has to abandon the safest answer. No one in an after-hours aquarium corridor where the tank reflection opens inward says the fear out loud. Battery failure still sounds useful until the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. Please don't make me answer it. The witness whispers, but the camera rings once from inside an after-hours aquarium corridor where the tank reflection opens inward. Why does it know their voice? The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. Then the camera answers with the detail they were hiding. What hurts is how ordinary the evidence remains. The recording catches a breath that does not belong to anyone on the log. The witness understands that touching it would feel like agreement. The file can call it a discrepancy, but the witness has already changed. The witness realizes the room knows which lie they were about to tell. By the final pass, the evidence is not louder, it is closer. The witness transcript quotes a sentence nobody has spoken yet. Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. The room does not become louder, it becomes more personal. Battery failure fails because the room remembers the witness before the witness enters. The evidence is sealed, but the seal is warm. One more practical detail changes what the witness can trust. The evidence stays ordinary enough to touch, and that is why touching it feels like answering. The next proof belongs to a person, not a file. Someone laughs once, too quietly, then asks to leave without looking away. The recording ends with the table waiting for another hand. The horror keeps shrinking until it fits inside one remembered detail. The corrected copy changes first. "That isn't me," the witness says. Then the playback uses the same panic, half a second early. A second silence arrives after the room should be safe. A witness misreading the tag almost explains it. Then the final tag is signed in handwriting the witness has not learned yet. Keep the camera on the person who tries not to react. The camera makes the room feel chosen instead of observed. The archive can seal evidence, but it cannot seal what the witness remembers next. The safest explanation breaks in a human place. A hand stops, a name disappears, and the camera waits in plain view. Radio bleed from another room still sounds useful until the second playback removes the safest explanation. The room gives the witness one more chance to deny it. The room goes quiet only after someone says the wrong name. The room remembers the witness before the witness enters. "Open the door!" The words come from the camera, soft and patient. What door is it talking about? "If it says my name again, I'm leaving," someone whispers. It says the name again.
Don't answer it.
"Who told you that?" the witness asks, and every light in an after-hours aquarium corridor where the tank reflection opens inward answers by going still. "No, no, no. That's tomorrow." The sentence lands wrong because the camera has already filed it as yesterday. How does it know? Stay with the witness after the obvious explanation fails. A light flickers once, then holds steady as if someone has warned it. Someone has to choose whether to trust their memory or the object in front of them. Radio bleed from another room fails because the second playback removes the safest explanation. A private memory becomes physical evidence in front of strangers. The clean recording keeps the damage and loses the voice. The case language stays locked to aquarium tank. The case language stays locked to deeper room.